All right, let's be honest for a second. We've all had that moment. You're in the grocery store, sitting in church, or quietly stretching in yoga, and suddenly it slips out. A little gas. Embarrassing? Maybe funny. No big deal, right? But here's the thing most people don't realize. Some farts are harmless. Others? They're warning signs. Quiet ones. With loud consequences. And if you've ever blamed the dog, or your grandkids, for something that clearly came from you, go ahead and hit the like button. You're among friends here. My name is Linda. I'm 68, a retired teacher living in San Antonio, Texas. For years, I thought I just had a sensitive stomach. I gave up cheese, switched to herbal teas, tried probiotics. Nothing worked. Then one day during a checkup, a digestive specialist looked me straight in the eye and said, "Linda, this isn't just gas. It's bacterial overgrowth. Your digestion is out of balance." That hit me hard. I'd been laughing it off when my body had been begging me to listen. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. That moment changed everything for me, and it might just change something for you too. Today, I'm going to share 4 types of gas older women should never ignore, and what they might be telling you about your gut health, your hormones, or even why your pants feel tighter after lunch when you haven't eaten more. Stay with me to the end. Because number 3, it's the one no one talks about. But if you ignore it, it could mean weeks of bloating, discomfort, even a trip to the emergency room. Don't wait until it's too late to take your body seriously. Let's get into it. Type 1, the sulfur stink. Let me ask you this. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly it smells like something died? That sharp, sour, rotten egg odor that hits your nose like a slap? That is not normal gas. That is a warning. This smell comes from a gas called hydrogen sulfide. And while it can show up after eating eggs, broccoli, or cabbage, that should not happen every day. If it lingers, if it shows up after most meals, if it makes people look around in horror, pay attention. That was me. After nearly every meal, I would smell it, sharp, sour, and strong. I thought it was aging, but my doctor ran tests and said, "Linda, your body is not absorbing nutrients. This could be malabsorption, or worse. Turns out, it might be linked to lactose intolerance, celiac disease, or even a hidden gut infection. And yes, some studies suggest this type of gas could be an early red flag, especially for issues in the colon that need early attention." I know, it sounds scary, but this isn't about fear. This is about being smart, about not ignoring what your body's been trying to tell you. I have a friend, Darlene, 71, tough, no nonsense. She ignored the smell for years, called it just digestion. But after getting tested, she found out she had a severe bacterial imbalance. 2 months. That's all it took. She changed her diet, took the right probiotics, and now her kitchen doesn't smell like a sulfur plant anymore. The earlier you catch it, the easier it is to fix. But the longer you wait, the harder it gets, and the louder your body has to scream. Too many of us were raised to stay quiet, to be polite, to never talk about stuff like this. But silence doesn't serve us anymore, not at this age. So if your gas is knocking people out like pepper spray, don't just laugh it off. Your body is talking. It's not rude. It's wise. And if this sounds like you, type the number 1 in the comments so I know I'm not alone. We've got a smart, supportive community here, and you belong in it. Oh, and one more thing. Start tracking what you eat and when the smell shows up. That small step could save you weeks of discomfort or even a visit to the emergency room. And this is only the beginning, because the next type doesn't smell at all. And that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. You won't hear it, you won't see it, but you'll definitely feel it. Let me explain. Type 2, the explosive machine gun fart. Picture this. You're sitting in church or sipping tea at a quiet dinner. And suddenly, blam, 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 like a motorcycle backfiring or a drum solo from a jazz band. Everyone hears it. No one says a word. And you're just sitting there praying the chair made the noise. But here's what most people don't realize. Gas that's loud, sudden, and frequent, especially with bubbling or cramping, can be a warning. Your gut might be over-fermenting. That means bacteria are breaking down food before your body can absorb it. And they're having a full-on party in your intestines. Sure, beans and Brussels sprouts can cause that, but in older adults, the real troublemakers are often hiding in plain sight. It could be lactose intolerance that shows up later in life, or gluten sensitivity that no one ever caught. And most importantly, something called SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. I had it. Every afternoon after lunch, my belly would swell like a balloon. The cramps would hit, and then the noise, like a marching band inside me. I thought it was just getting older, but my doctor looked me in the eye and said, "This isn't aging, this is overload in the wrong part of your gut." That's when I found out. SIBO affects up to 15% of older adults, especially women. And most of us never get diagnosed because we're too embarrassed to bring it up. My friend Carol is 65, proud mother of 5. She used to skip brunch with her church group, too scared of making noise in public. She finally saw a dietitian. Dairy was her trigger. 2 weeks later, she was back to brunch, back to laughing, without fear. The earlier you figure out what's causing the noise, the sooner you get your life back. But if you ignore it, that pressure builds, the bloating worsens, and your gut stays inflamed. Too many of us were taught to say, "It's just gas." But that kind of thinking, it keeps us stuck and suffering in silence. And at our age, silence doesn't serve us anymore. So here's what you can do. Start a simple food and gas journal. Track what you eat and what happens after. Even 3 days of notes can give your doctor a real head start. And if you've ever had to excuse yourself mid-meal because your stomach was louder than the television, type the number 2 in the comments. Let's show each other we're not alone. Because we're not. Now, the next type of gas doesn't make a sound, doesn't have a smell, but it'll twist your stomach like a knife and send some women running to the bathroom. That one? It's a red flag most women never expect. Let's talk about it next. Type 3. The silent-but-crampy gas. This one? It doesn't make a sound. It doesn't smell. But when it hits, you know. It feels like a fist clenched around your belly. 1 minute, you're fine. The next, you're hunched over the kitchen counter, gripping it like a lifeline, trying to breathe through the pain. And then, a quiet puff of gas. No noise. No warning. Just pain. a little relief, and a whole lot of confusion. That was me. Every evening around dinner, a wave of pressure would twist through my gut. Not loud, not stinky, but deep, sharp, and hard to ignore. My doctor called it what it was, IBS. That's irritable bowel syndrome. It's not just nerves. It's not just aging. It's a real chronic condition, and it affects millions of women over 60. IBS can show up as bloating, constipation, diarrhea, and these strange gas cramps that feel like a punch from the inside. And what makes it worse? Stress. The kind you don't talk about. Worries about your family, your health, your finances, even the quiet thoughts you carry in your chest. Your gut feels every single one. There's a real connection between your brain and your belly. When your mind is tense, your digestion locks up. And sometimes that shows up as gas that whispers through pain. I remember a season when my husband was ill. I smiled for everyone, held the house together. But my gut? It fell apart. Cramps every night, silent gas, and this tight knot of fear. Is something wrong with me? Finally, I saw a specialist, and he gave me more than medication. He gave me a plan. Track your symptoms, cut back on caffeine, eat foods that calm, not trigger. Within weeks, I felt lighter. The cramps faded, the gas settled. For the first time in months, I wasn't afraid to eat dinner. And here's the thing. The sooner you notice the pattern, the sooner you can break free from it. So, if this sounds familiar, don't brush it off. Don't suffer quietly. Start simple. Write down what you eat, what time the cramps happen, and how you feel emotionally. That little journal could be the key that unlocks your recovery. And if you've ever had to sit forward in a chair, press your hand to your belly just to ride out the pain. Type the number 3 in the comments. Let another woman out there know she's not alone either. Have you ever connected a belly cramp to stress before? What helped you the most? Let's help each other in the comments below. And if you have a friend, sister, or daughter who's been struggling with gut pain quietly, send this video her way. It might be just what she needs to hear. You are not weak. You are not dramatic. You are human, and you deserve answers. Because what comes next is the one no one wants to admit. The gas you didn't even feel. The one that wasn't just gas. Type 4. The leak you didn't feel. What if your body leaked and you didn't even know it happened? This one is the hardest to admit because it's not just embarrassing. It's invisible. And often, it sneaks up before you even realize it. I'm talking about gas incontinence. That means passing gas without warning, without control, and sometimes without even feeling it. You stand up from a chair. You bend down to reach for something. And then you wonder, did something just slip out? For years, I blamed it on tight pants or just being tired. But the truth, my pelvic floor muscles weren't as strong as they used to be. And I'm not alone. Gas incontinence affects up to half of women over 65. Especially if you've had children, surgeries, or years of lifting, coughing, or simply living life. It's not your fault, but it is something your doctor needs to know. I'll never forget my neighbor, Eleanor, age 74, smart, independent, sharp as a tack. But she stopped going to her garden club. She was afraid something might slip, and she wouldn't even notice it. She felt embarrassed, ashamed, alone, until she finally spoke up. Her doctor referred her to a pelvic floor therapist. Just 10 minutes of daily exercises made a huge difference. No more fear, no more hiding. And yes, she's back in the garden again. Here's the part most people don't know. This kind of leakage can also be a sign of nerve damage, rectal prolapse, or even early signs of diabetes. So please, don't ignore it. Don't chalk it up to just getting older. Your body deserves attention and care. And if you've noticed stool leakage or trouble wiping clean after a bowel movement, these aren't shameful topics. These are medical issues, and they can be treated. So what can you do? Talk to your doctor. Ask about pelvic floor therapy. Avoid common trigger foods like artificial sweeteners, spicy meals, and carbonated drinks. And most importantly, don't isolate yourself. If you've ever clenched in fear before standing up, or quietly packed a change of clothes just in case, you are not alone. Type the number 4 in the comments if you've been there too. No shame, no judgment, just support. And if something helped you, an exercise, a treatment, or simply talking about it, share it below. Your story could help another woman reclaim her confidence. And if you know someone, a sister, a friend, or even your mom, who's been hiding in silence, send her this video. One click could change her day, or her life, because aging doesn't mean disappearing. It means getting smarter, getting stronger, and finally, speaking up. Because confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being real. And you, my friend, are real, strong, and never alone. Now that we've walked through all 4 gas signals your body might be sending you, let's take a moment to look back, reflect, and make sure you know exactly what to watch out for, so you can take back control. Let us take a quick recap. 4 types of gas older women should never ignore. Type 1. The sulfur stink that lingers. It could be a sign of malabsorption, infection, or even early-stage colon cancer. Type 2. The explosive machine gun gas. Often linked to food intolerance or SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Type 3. The silent-but-crampy gas. Tied to IBS and often triggered by emotional stress. Type 4. The leak you did not feel. Gas incontinence, often from pelvic floor weakness or nerve-related issues. These are not just awkward moments. They are messages from your body, and now you know how to listen. If even one of these sounded familiar, please do not ignore it. Keep a journal. Talk to your doctor. And most of all, advocate for yourself. We were taught to stay polite, to keep quiet, to just deal with it. But you have earned the right to speak up, to get answers, and to feel good in your own body at any age. If this video helped you feel seen, heard, or simply a little more informed, click like, subscribe to the channel. Advice for older people. We talk about real things: gut health, sleep, joint pain, and everyday wisdom for seasoned women like you. And please, do not keep this to yourself. Send it to your sister, your best friend, or that neighbor who always says, "I just have a sensitive stomach," because maybe she does not. Let's stop suffering in silence and start helping each other out loud. My name is Linda. I am 68. I have smelled it all, survived it all, and I'm not afraid to talk about any of it. You have got wisdom. You have got years. And yes, you have got gas. But now, you have the knowledge. Until next time, stay strong, stay informed, and stay breezy, my friend. You are not invisible. You are powerful, and this is your time to speak. This is advice for older people, where age meets real answers.